Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Lord Seaspray, Corlys Velaryon. And in that last episode, in the beginning of this brand new season, we got to meet our young Lord Velaryon here and got a sense of a character who is quite adventurous, for one, perhaps falls in love easily, that is for certain, and with the character that we're becoming here, one could imagine that we will be the object of many admirers as well. We sailed on a great journey after meeting some of our peers down here in the Reach. We spent a year with our mother, Marjorie, in Highgarden, and then visited Old Town to meet with some of our peers. We developed a crush on the Lady of Hightower here, young Lady Sheris, and overall, it was quite the meeting of peers. We got to save a young girl from, I believe, House Florent from some bullies, some commoner bullies, and then perhaps without our mother's approval, we took the long way back home instead of sailing directly back to Driftmark to go and take care of some business and be seen by the nobles here, because of course we are a young lord and lord paramount, and so we need to be seen as a lord who is up and coming in our own right. Well, instead of heading straight home, we did a little bit of a journey, stopping by Sunspear, Lys, and Pentos, and visiting those places on the first of what perhaps will be many great journeys for Lord Corlys. But we have now returned to Driftmark, and we are about a year has passed, a little bit more, since we had that since we left the Reach, and plans were made in the meantime. Indeed, as I asked in the last episode, who do you think that we or that our mother Marjorie would be presenting, or options as to us for our betrothal prospects? And well, there were a few. There were certainly a few, and mostly young ladies from the Reach, because obviously, as the heir to the Reach, our mother wants to secure our position there. And so there were some good options. The two standout ones were perhaps a young lady of House Redwine, as being a powerful naval fleet. Combining the Redwine fleet and the Velaryon fleet would make us the undisputed master of the seas. Or young Lady Sheris here from Old Town, which is one of the oldest and most prestigious and certainly most powerful houses of the Reach. And Old Town is second only to King's Landing in terms of the size of the city, the wealth of the city. And so those were the two standout options here, and you guys had a lot of great opinions on them. It was actually pretty much dead even. And so as we host ourselves a meeting of our peers here in Driftmark, our mother has probably come to visit us after this year. I'm sure she had a few words to say about our little adventure that we had with Evitho. I imagine he might have gotten a little bit of a talking to by Marjorie for allowing us to go on that journey. But Evitho, he's a good man. He's our friend, and I think he wanted to take us on a journey. He knew our father. He knew that our father would probably be fine with that as long as we came back, which we did. So yeah, good on Evitho for allowing us to have that little adventure before we have to deal with politics, and deal with politics indeed, because our mother has chosen us a betrothal prospect. And when young Corlys learns that it is a lady of House Hightower that he is going to be betrothed to, no doubt he is feeling quite happy. He's had a crush on young Lady Sheris for quite some time, and the young Lady Sheris is going to be coming here to our meeting of the peers, along with quite a few others, as you can see. And so, yeah, when our mother lets us know that we're going to be betrothed to a young lady from House Hightower, that is certainly going to set our heart aflame, knowing that perhaps one day we shall be marrying our crush, only to have our dreams dashed when we discover that it is not Lady Sherris who we are going to be betrothed to, but instead her cousin, young Lady Lyness Hightower, indeed a cousin of House Hightower. And so you can imagine our dismay at hearing this news, elation turning to defeat as we learn that it is not our crush that we are going to be betrothed to, but another young lady from House Hightower. And allow me to explain a little bit of my reasoning behind this. Now, as I said, there was pretty much a dead heat between who you guys thought Marjorie should set us up with. It was either a young lady from House Redwine here, and I believe it was Eleanor Redwine, who was the top prospect, or young Lady Sherris here, who is the lady of Old Town. And well, I think that for Marjorie, who certainly has the final say in this, we're 12 years old. Our mother's going to be managing all this. She is a lady paramount in her own right, quite powerful. And not only that, but she's also the master of coin of the Iron Throne. Well, there's a few factors that played into this, because although I believe Lady Marjorie might have been thinking that if she could get us that betrothal with young Eleanor Redwine, that would secure our position not only in the Reach, but on the seas as well, and would give her son probably one of the best chances to secure his base of power. And I imagine that was perhaps her first prospect, but there was also young Lady Sherris. But the thing you have to consider is that there are other politics going on, and young Lady Sherris is not the only one. She's not going to be making these decisions. She has her own regent and her own council, and they are not likely to accept a straight up marriage, even though it's a powerful marriage with House Velaryon, because of how secure the position of House Hightower is in Old Town. They weren't going to accept the possibility of Velaryon ending up sitting in that seat. And although some deals could possibly have been made where perhaps a second son takes on the Hightower name or things like that, there's no guarantee that there would be a second son. There's no guarantees in any of this that this wouldn't end up becoming a loss for House Hightower. And so they presented another prospect, young Lady Lyness, who is of House Hightower and can arrange the loyalty of House Hightower, because they will still have their blood potentially ruling the Reach and the Narrow Sea. And so House Hightower really gets the best of both worlds there. They can retain their seat in Old Town, and Lady Sherris can find a matrilineal marriage for herself, or her counselors can find one for her. But House Hightower also has their blood here in Highgarden and in Driftmark, and so that's pretty important to them. As for why not the Reach, well, I suspect that was something to do with Daenerys Targaryen's own machinations, and you can see that she is paranoid, and I have no doubt at all that she would be considering the power that Lord Corlys is going to be coming into, and be rightfully concerned about that. Now, there's not much she can do in preventing us from taking our inheritance in the Reach. This is our mother's seat, and our mother rules with the backing of Daenerys, and so she can't really prevent us from doing that. But Daenerys is not going to want one young man who has a very prestigious father and a lot of power to control basically all of the fleets and all of the ships of the Seven Kingdoms. She would never let that fly. That is too much power in the hands of one man. Ruling the Reach is certainly a great power along with the Narrow Sea, but having all the ships in basically almost all of Westeros, like, of course, the Lannisters have a fleet and the Iron Islands have a fleet, and, all of the different kingdoms of the Seven Kingdoms have their own fleets, but nothing compares to the Red Wine fleet and the Velaryon fleet combined. And so I think Daenerys was essentially vetoing that prospect. I don't think she would allow that to happen. And so I think she very forcefully suggested that Lord Corlys not marry into House Redwine there. I think she has some of her own plans. I suspect that she plans to marry the younger brother of Lord Eddard here to one of the Redwine girls to secure the Redwine fleet for her chosen heir, Lord Eddard. But that has yet to come to pass, so we'll see what Daenerys' plans are there. But yes, she has certainly prevented that. Now, I think part of the deal, too, with Lady Marjorie arranging this marriage between us and House Hightower, which is very powerful, obviously, and not only that, but inheriting the Reach, I think that Daenerys has made a suggestion, a command, request, whatever you call it, and that is for young Lord Corlys to renounce any claims to a Gultown. Now, you've probably noticed this for a while, but we are the heir to the High Lordship of Gultown in the Vale, and that is because, well, if you go back, I don't even know how many generations here. Let's see, a couple more. Oh my gosh, how many generations do you have to go back here? Quite a few, I believe it is. In any case, yeah, we're several generations away from Lord Lucas of House Grafton here, who is the only member of his house. His wife doesn't have any children. I don't know why they haven't had any more. But yeah, we're technically the heir to Gultown, but I think Daenerys is going to request that we renounce any claim to Gultown, because that would just simply be too much power once again. Not only would we control the Narrow Sea, but we would control the biggest city in the Vale, which I'm sure even Peter Baelish, the Lord Regent of the Vale, would not be accepting of. And I think he might have put some pressure on Daenerys and not to allow this to happen either. But not only would we control Gultown, but we would have, a strong alliance with Old Town here. That's just far too much power, not only and the Lord of the Reach as well. Simply, it's too much. And I think that Daenerys would essentially veto this prospect as much as she could. She's quite powerful. And our mother, Lady Marjorie, is probably relatively accepting of that. She's content. She's humble. And so I think that it didn't probably take too much convincing. So if we do end up inheriting Gultown, I'll probably turn it back over to House Arryn, or probably more likely, we're going to turn it over to the Gultown branch of House Arryn here. And so they're going to be the ones to inherit it. That seems to make the most sense. I can see that's something that would be acceptable to the Vale Lords. There would be a lot of conflict if Lord Corlys inherited that. It'd be, it'd give us some power, but I don't think it would be worth it. And so Marjorie understands that, and so I think she made this deal. We will have no pushback from Daenerys in inheriting the Reach if that comes to pass, which hopefully it will. But we had to make some concessions in order to allow this to happen. So young Lord Corlys here, despite his brave and outgoing nature, isn't really the master of his own fate. We've had our mother kind of making these arrangements for us. And so I think that we are feeling a little helpless here as our young peers come to join us and we meet the young lady that we are supposedly going to be wed to. Now, there are some other interesting characters here, of course. I think we've got some of the Dornish children here. Obviously, we've got our own siblings. Oh, actually, doesn't. Oh, yeah, we do have Prince Darrett of Dorne is here, so that's pretty interesting. Anybody else? Oh, Lord Renly of the Stormlands, so the heir to the Stormlands is going to be joining us. Oh, Lord Aaron here as well, the heir to Riverrun in the Riverlands is here as well. So some pretty, high up there young lords and stuff here. So we're getting to meet some important people, including the heir to the Iron Throne, which is our nephew, Lord Eddard here, who actually, funnily enough, has a friendship with our cousin Lucerys, who absolutely despises us for whatever reason. He does not like us at all. And so it's kind of funny that our bully, Lord Eddard here, has a friendship with somebody else who's a similar age to us and also greatly dislikes us. And so I thought that was kind of a funny turn of events here. But in any case, let's get time rolling. Oh, we do have an event. Young Barbo, Captain Evitho's son, has at last arrived from Bloodpoint for his education. So Evitho's son, Barbo Seahoof, is coming here to stay in Driftmark and is going to be training under our captain, Robert Lynchfield. So that's quite interesting there. Let's get time rolling here and let's see if we get any interesting events or anything here. Life and duties of a squire. We've been sent on an errand. We could be training with a sword. Servants should be doing this. I mean, we are arbitrary. Not everything a squire does will be glamorous. I don't know. I think that maybe we do think that everything a squire does should be glamorous. So we're gonna send a servant off on doing that. We're reducing our progress here towards knighthood, but we're doing pretty good there. Anyways, we're learning the important lessons: chivalry and swordsmanship and horsemanship and all that. So. Everyone is here as all the small lords and ladies are ushered into the room. I feel myself growing giddier and giddier. I am thrilled that my nephew, no, we're not thrilled that Lord Eddard's here. And my friend Jane, we are friends with Jane Florent after we saved her from those ruffians. Not to mention Alana, the door. Yeah, well, I think we're mostly concerned about our crush being here, Lady Sheris, and sadly, also our betrothed, Lyness Hightower. This is going to lead to some drama, and this is a large part of the reason why I did that. Could you imagine having, a deep crush essentially on the cousin of the woman you're being essentially forced to marry? It's going to lead to some good drama, but I'm excited for it. So let's welcome these young lords and ladies in, and let's just see how it all plays out. I thought my vassal, Lord Edmund, and the peasant boy were merely pretending to fight, but suddenly there's blood in the dirt. Do we have to save another one? Lord Edmund of Blackmark. He is loyal, honorable, diligent, but sadistic. Do we become somebody's bully? I don't think that quite makes sense for us. I think that we're brave and, just because we're this, I think we've done it again. We stand up to bullies. I don't know if we're necessarily a good character, but I think that we're the type of character who tries to stand up for others when we can. So yeah, there we go. We can make another friend as well, which is useful to us. So there we go. Byron, the son of Lady Alana of Rosby, and I agree that trade is an important skill for a noble to learn, and so we decided to visit the local market. Who's this? Byron Rosby. Interesting. We only have some pebbles for currency, but they are very shiny. I would like to purchase a ware, please, we say. Convince the merchant to trade. You'll give me what I want. I'm the lord. Oh, we could become the owner of a beautiful scopperol. Set up our own stall. Ooh, I like that. That sounds fun, actually. So we're going to be practicing trade. We're going to set up our own stall and buy your pebbles. That's kind of funny. Hey, you know what? We are taking the stewardship education, so We'll see what we learn here. My acquaintance Elrone approaches me with a heap of fabric in her arms. She dumps it on the floor. Let's play house together. Okay, Elrone Pile? House Pile? I'm not sure. Sure, and Eddard is the dog. I like that. Yeah, you know, I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to take a snarky remark at Eddard. He is our bully. So yeah, you know what we're gonna say? I don't think he's gonna accept that role, but you know what? Maybe we say it just to kind of insult him. Yeah, I don't know if you guys had, you know, bullies when you were kids or anything like that, but like sometimes you just can't help but make that snarky comment. And you know, sometimes it gets you in trouble. It might get you a punch in the gut. But I think that we're gonna say it because we are brave. Oh, let's see. More life and duties of the squire. Though I was in the stable, I heard Russell and the stable master going over the practice route. I know every single obstacle, and surprised Russell was planning on throwing at me and testing me on. I'm due down to the stables in a few minutes, but I'm torn if I should tell the truth about my advantage. I think that we are... I think that we have some chivalry to us. I think that we're going to tell the truth here. There's a sense of chivalry to us. You know, I don't think arbitrary or cynical necessarily go against that. Maybe a little bit, but we also have our father who was like the most gallant knight, you know, as a role model too. Well, he was before he died. I brought a small book with me as I usually do, and Byron the son. Oh, looks like we're making some good friendship with Byron here, which is interesting because he is the son of Lord Tancred of Rosby, and so this is the brother of Samwell Tarly, and so yeah, he's got some connections to the Reach as well. Oh, is that the Annals of the Rivers? I recently read it, and what's your opinion on the prose? Let's make a friend here. Yeah, there we go. Friends are good. Makes for some interesting relationships later on in the game. Oh, and look at this. We've already gained a level of fame, and we're only 12 years old. What's our level at? Yeah, we're already distinguished. That's pretty impressive for somebody our age. It was good to forget all responsibilities for a while and spend time with other children, but I am told I have to return to my duties now. Until next time, I think that we pretty much avoided Liness here the entire time. Oh, she unfortunately got hurt somehow during all this. That's unfortunate for her. But yeah, I think we avoided her as much as we can. I'm sure our mother, you know, tried to make some sort of friendship or, you know, acquaintance there, but we did our best that we could to avoid that. You can tell that by the fact that we ended up making friendships with Lord Edmund of Blackmark and Byron Rosby instead. So there we go. Until next time, we say finish the meeting of the peers. And so yeah, that was interesting. I think there's some interesting politics going on here for sure. The question is, what do we do from here? Well, I think that one thing that we might consider doing, we could go on a grand tour, or we could go on a hunt. And I'm definitely tempted to do that. We do need to employ a master of a hunt, and I think that this is a good chance to go through some important characters in our court. We'll take a very quick look at our council here. Now, some of these characters, such as our Castellan, our Chancellor, our Steward here, our Master at Arms, you know, our Septon. These are, you know, various lords and vassals of Driftmark here that obviously, you know, we're going to play an important role in how our realm is ruled. But, you know, they're perhaps not the most interesting of characters. We do have some very interesting characters in our council, such as Lady Orana of Shroud. Now, this is the daughter of Lord Valdor the Slaughterer. You'll remember Valdor. He was the close friend of Monford. He was a badass in battle. I think we can take a look here. I mean, he got at least 2 good kills. Yeah, slain in battle, Yoso Naharis and Lord Martin of Chancellor, among many other commoners and stuff, I'm sure. Unfortunately, dead at 41 years of age. So Lady Orana of Shroud is going to provide the duties of the Spy Master for us She's married here to Lord Argos of House Harwell. They do have a child here, so it looks like House Harwell will be inheriting Shroud there. But the dynasty of Lord Valdor, well, although his dynasty might not continue, his blood will continue. And so I think that is at least good to know. House Harwell and House Edgewater matched there in that. Then, of course, we've got Evitho. You guys know Evitho. Evitho is a badass. I mean, this huge Dothraki warrior who's practically a pirate down in the Stepstones. You know, he's a close friend of ours. He's, helped raise us from a young age. I mean, when he maybe not helped raise us, but, he's probably somebody we always looked up to. I imagine we probably think of Evitho like an uncle in a lot of ways. He was a close friend. He was very close with Monford. They fought together a lot. So yeah, I think Evitho is an uncle figure to us. The fun uncle as well. He let us go on that crazy journey. There are a couple other interesting characters as well. We've got Avara. She is the pirate who serves currently as our harbor master, assisting with managing our ships and things here in the Stepstones. She is married to our master at arms, Robert Lynchfield. So there's an interesting character there. We've obviously got Malik Webb, the son of Lord Malric, who's got some pretty, the dragon dreaming family here. He is raising us and teaching us to be a good steward. Hopefully we will learn well from him, and his dragon dreams might certainly come into play in the future, just like his father's did. We've also got our captain of the Household Guard, Sir Briglos Seafire. Now, this is a man, as you can tell, disfigured by burns, and those were burns he received in the Battle of Mummer's Ford. If you'll remember, that was actually the battle that Tyrion Lannister was responsible for slaying the dragon Viserion in. And so Sir Briglos was burned in that battle, but he was fighting for Lord Monford and was raised to a knighthood for fighting in that battle, and the good deeds that he has done so far have raised him to the position of captain of the Household Guard. And so Briglos Seafire here, pretty cool character. He is actually now married to Alysanne, who is the mother of our bastard brother. Remember, this was the lover of Lord Monford, the one he saved in the melee. And so the two of them have gotten married. It's been several years since Monford passed. And so, she's still a young woman, obviously looking for love. And so, safety and protection and stuff too. And so she ended up marrying Sir Briglos, even though he was burned and scarred. He's a good man, honorable, brave, a little bit shy, but yeah, pretty good man and a strong warrior as well. And then finally, we've got this very interesting character, Aelion Estatis. And this is a Volantine man who's got a bit of an interesting story. We met him during our adventures here in Essos when we were sailing along there just that last year. We came across Aelion, and he essentially won his way into our good graces. He wanted passage to Westeros, and he came along with us. He was planning on making his way to King's Landing. He spoke a lot of Queen Daenerys in very glowing terms, almost infatuated terms. But he's stayed in our court for now. You can see he is our court bard, and this character is very much a bard. Brave, ambitious, gregarious, lustful. The man's a gracious envoy, a seducer, but loyal at least. That's nice. Fashionable poet, beautiful. This man descends from, he's got Valyrian blood, purple eyes, the white hair and everything. The man is a philanderer. Let's not have any two ways about that. And he seems to have some eyes pretty high up here. We'll see if he ever achieves his great goals, but this is a D&D bard if I've ever seen one. So we'll see what kind of trouble Aelion makes for us. And so I think that should be Should be quite interesting there. Now, I was going into my courtiers to employ ourselves a master of the hunt, and oh, we've got a lot of options here. Bonifer Seashade. You know what? I think we'll go with him. He's a pretty trained man. He's a peasant, so I think he'll probably do a pretty decent job. Excellent job here. I think we're gonna learn to hunt. Why not? So let's do a hunt. It's gonna cost us a little bit of money, but we get a lot of bonuses and things like that. Now I think we are going to do a falconry hunt rather than a. Do we do a proper hunt? Falconry. No, we should probably do a proper hunt just because we're a young man and learning how to hunt is going to be an important part of being a noble, especially during peacetime. Now we have a couple options. Some of the best options are here in the Kingswood, but we're not a king, and so we don't get to just go hunting in the Kingswood. That's the entire point of having a Kingswood. This is the king's hunting ground, or in this case, Queen Daenerys. She can call hunts in here, but we, unless we get her permission, we can't go hunting in there ourselves. However, we do have the option of going hunting here in God's Bite, and so that's probably where we're going to go. Some deer were sighted here, and so that's where we're going to head. Looks like there's some danger on the sea. We'll probably hire some experienced captains just for the sake of safety. Let's see if we can... we don't have the money to really pay for anything more here, so we'll just go for a mid-sized one. We could potentially try to befriend someone. Oh, it doesn't look like most of these people are going to be coming. Let's see. We're going to just stay on recreation for now. We'll see who's coming. Oh, start hunt. Oh, we're a child. Ugh. I wish, you know what? It shouldn't even give you the option to do this if you're not. That's unfortunate. We could do a grand tour, but we don't have the money, so... I'm a little disappointed in that. I kind of wish that you could do something like go on a hunt when you're younger, but I mean, it is what it is. There's not much we could do here. Looks like some diseases are spreading. That is slightly concerning. We've got some disease here, infections in Duskendale. Got some spreading here. Nothing too concerning though. My man entrusted me with the delivery of a message? Okay, I mean, it's an important message going to Grand Maester Otto here. Well, that's interesting. I guess we're taking a visit back to the Reach. And honestly, I mean, Grand Maester Otto... Oh, this isn't King's Landing. Okay, so we're going to take a ship to King's Landing to deliver this message. We're probably happy with that. As you guys know, Lord Corlys is a lover of the sea. He's going to probably, attempt to maybe he captains the ship himself. I mean, we are extremely capable already when it comes to managing the sea. So yeah, we're going to deliver this letter. Why wouldn't we? Oh, actually, it looks like there's some trouble here in the Stormlands. Lord Penrose here is dealing with... Oh... The Stormlands has a little bit of a conflict. Looks like somebody is pushing the claim of the young son, Lord Hugh, here. Which nobles are this? It's House Fell. Lord Glendon Silveraxe, still alive, 75 years of age. This man's a beast. 63 prowess, one of the most powerful warriors. He's got Blackhaven and the Red Watch on his side. But very importantly... As you can see, House Penrose has the loyalty of the vast majority of the lords in the Stormlands here. So this is really interesting. Some people were, wondering whether or not, these newfound houses here, like House Penrose in the Stormlands or House Masterly in the Westerlands would be able to hold power. But so far, I mean, seems like people are accepting of their position. Lord Paramount John here is fighting this little rebellion. But, I mean, I think he's going to be able to manage it here. Let's see if we can see. They've got 20,000. He's only got 17,000. So, yeah, we'll see if he can pull it off. Very interesting indeed. The poxes are spreading. We've got some a loyalist faction. That's pretty good, actually. So, oh, well, there's a Liberty faction as well, but they're not too strong. They're not strong enough to go against this here, which is good. Now, one thing I do want to also mention is that Lord Eddard here, who is severely injured. Oh God, I hope he recovers from this. Actually, we shall see. I mean, he'll probably be fine. His health is poor, but I'm sure he'll be okay. Part of the deal with Daenerys basically allowing us, and to take the Lord Paramountcy of the Reach, which once again, very powerful position to be Lord Paramount of two sides of the continent, essentially. Part of the deal that goes along with allowing us to secure our position in the Reach is that Daenerys made an arrangement for Lord Eddard here, and that is to be betrothed to our sister and friend, Lady Isabella. We're probably not happy that our bully is now betrothed to our favorite sister here. Sorry to all of our other sisters. But yeah, that is certainly concerning that that our bully here is marrying our sister. But the fact is, this is a smart plan for Daenerys. It basically prevents us from acting up against Lord Eddard if he does take the Iron Throne. So smart play by Daenerys there. She's basically securing the future for Lord Eddard. And I imagine that a large part of this was, her council. Lord Paramount Darren. I mean, Lord Robb is Master of Laws, which is interesting. But yeah, Lord Paramount John, Lord Morgan here, basically all of the council is probably considering this as well. How to, it's just politics. Everyone's playing the Game of Thrones, including Daenerys Targaryen here. So, in any case, the Dark Cave. You want your stick horse, huh? Do you? Then go get it. Oh, who the hell is this girl? Isabella Stone? Just some bastard girl here? Okay. Interesting. The daughter of Willa. I wonder if this is the same Willa that is like the one that Ned Stark pretends is the mother of Jon Snow. There's probably other Willas here, but it's funny that we get picked on, though. I think we are kind of known as a little bit of a mama's boy, a little bit of kind of a pretty boy in some ways. Even though we're brave, even though we're like a skilled fighter, I think our good looks and our things like that. I think some people kind of misconstrue us. Well, maybe not misconstrue us. I think we are a little bit of a mama's boy, but not entirely. We're brave and we're adventurous too, but yeah, clearly some people see us as a little bit of a target when it comes to bullying. Now it'll keep the spiders and snakes company, she says about our stick horse. It's lost forever, she exclaims, laughing. How can Isabella be so mean to... Oh no, she's doing it to another girl. The cave is full of creepy crawlies. But I must do something. This makes me furious. I'll beat the snot out of you. Guards, make Isabella get it back. We gain the trait Stubborn. Oof. Okay, let's see. Stubborn versus... Okay, Stewardship +3 is nice. Disease Resistance is nice. Some people... Corlys does not back down for anything. You know what? I think it's been proven time again that we don't back down. You know what? We might be seen as a little bit weak to some of the other kids, but we are not, even though we're making the guards give it back. We're not accepting this kind of thing. We're not going to beat up a girl. That's not very chivalrous of it, but yeah, we're not going to accept this. So we gain the trait Stubborn. So this is our 4 traits: Brave, Arbitrary, Cynical, and Stubborn. Interesting character we've got here. I am very curious to see what kind of decisions we are going to make here as we come to age. But yeah, quite interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on things. Ooh, okay, things are spreading over here. That's interesting. How's things going? Oof. Okay, maybe Lord Penrose is having a little bit of trouble here. We'll see if he'll be able to handle it here. Could Lord Hugh get put in the position on the Stormlands, or is somebody gonna come to the aid of Lord Penrose here? I mean, he doesn't have. He's got some alliances in his own lands, but yeah, I mean, House Swan here, pretty strong. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. What are the 13,000 versus 17,000? I mean, Lord Paramount John could pull things back, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Could we go and assist him? Offer to join war? No, we can't. I guess we'll see. It's gonna be, I don't know, what do you guys think would happen if the Stormlands put Renly back in charge? Daenerys isn't gonna be too happy about that, I would imagine. That could be a threat from the Stormlands. I wonder. Leave your comments below. What do you think's gonna happen if Lord Hugh gets put back in the Stormlands? It kind of makes sense. I do like that most of the Stormlands is supporting Lord Penrose here, because he is I feel like a lot of the lords just don't want to break the new status quo. They're afraid of Daenerys, and maybe that they feel like this is the safer bet. But they've got Glendon Silveraxe here, who is just a complete badass house, and they've got Lord Barrick here, who is also a badass, and then Sarmian Swan here, who's actually another badass. So like 3 powerful warriors have banded together to put House Baratheon back in the Stormlands. So we'll see if they can pull it off. But yeah, I don't think Daenerys is going to be too happy. Life and duties of the Squire. Today's schedule is not particularly full. I've done my errands, chores, and duties. Even my knight mentor did not leave me any taxing responsibilities. I'm not sure what to do with my time. One thought, I should continue practicing. But if I want to be a knight one day, I must... Yeah, I think we could practice. Sure, we are stubborn after all. Stubbornly practicing here. I mean, we're close to, getting close to... we're certainly going to get named a knight, obviously. There's no doubt about that. But we're turning into a pretty decent one. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a faction here that's a little bit concerning. We might need to consider ways to deal with that. There are ways to deal with that through marriage alliances and whatnot. But I think that we will take a look at that in the next episode. There's a lot to consider. I want to hear your comments. Read your comments. So leave them down below. What do you guys think of this episode? What do you think is going to happen here with the Stormlands? Definitely leave your comments about that. And what do you think of the arrangements made for the various betrothals here between the young lords and ladies of the realm? Let me know down below. But until the next one's Wanderer, I will see you then.